everyone. This is Sunita, and welcome back to my podcast. Today, I have with me is Mrs. Bobbie Shrivastav. She have her own company. I requested her to join my podcast, and she is so down to earth that she just accepted my invitation. And today, I am with her. So, thank you so much, Bobbie, for joining in, and welcome to my podcast. And can you just tell me about yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Sunita. Um, I'm happy to be on your podcast. And my name is Bobbie Shrivastav. I've been in the insurance space off and on throughout my career. I actually started when I was a freshman in college, interning at a local nationwide insurance agency. And then after graduating, I had the opportunity to work with great organizations like Aon, Pepsi, mortgage division of AIG. And then before I went into full blown startup mode, the Center for Creative Leadership. And I've been in startups since 2015. My daughter was my inspiration for starting my first company called Docsmore, which was all about digitizing documents. And then my second company was Benekiva, which was more around creating the insurance claim solution. And we were innovating there. And I was one of the co-founders and the COO of that organization. Took it to great heights. When I left the company, we were at 111 people. We were servicing 20 customers, and now what I'm doing is I'm starting my another company that's related in insurance, but I'm in stealth mode, so I'm in build mode, but the code name is Future Workflow. And what we're trying to do is innovate in the workflow space in the insurance industry.
Wow, that's really very good. Your daughter is your inspiration. So your daughter was born in 2015, and then
Yes,
you
yes,
started your
yes.
first company.
Yeah, I started it when she was 6 months old, Sunita. I think I
Oh,
was, when you're first time mom, I think I went crazy. My husband went crazy, and we were like, hey, we should build a software solution.
mhm.
We were faced, to be honest with you, Sunita, like I was faced with so many problems in, as a new mom. It's all the forms that we have to fill out, and then part of my maternity leave, I had to get it was through disability, is how my employer at the time was giving me benefits for leave. So when Sana was born, I literally took a photo of her and sent it to my HR saying,
Mhm.
okay, I had a baby. How do we start the process of me getting benefits, right? And they
Yeah.
basically said, congratulations, here's a form. And this form was my disability claim form. I had no idea. So I'm looking at this form. It's a non-fillable form, but I'm a techie, so I figure out how to make it fillable. But then at the end, my only option to send to them was either mailing the form or faxing. And I
Yeah.
know with the mail, like we've been in technology, right? We
Yeah.
know mail, there's lost mails, it may not get there, it's going to take time. So my only digital option was a fax machine. And those were the types of scenarios that were like, there's got to be a better way to get data from documents so you can use it downstream. And that's why I was excited when you know, when the three of us were building Benekiva, is because it was tackling a very niche problem in the claims side. And that's why I'm excited about what I'm building right now with the future workflow, because it's a little bit, it's a bigger problem statement than the other companies I've created, but it's really tackling at how can we leverage technology to get rid of some of these mundane tasks that we as a consumer have to do, think about the staff have to do. So how do we leverage technology to make more human centered applications, solutions, more human enabled solutions? Because the tech should take care of all this, all of this stuff, right?
I was pregnant when I was 2007. I have a daughter. And I have a maternity leave. It's just 6 weeks is not enough, right? For us, because we are from Asian country. I'm from Nepal, so in that perspective, we used to have the maternity leave for 3 months. At least 3 months, we need to get take care of ourselves, right? With the baby, being a first mom, it is really very overwhelmed. Like we don't know what to do with the baby, and everything is really very not like it's new, so we need to learn by doing things. So it's really very hard time for me as well, as a new mom. So yeah, so did you do you have like any challenges, like what how do you come up overcome with your like first baby? How do you solve your like the problems, like how do you tackle that?
Well, I was when Sana was born, my leave was 8 weeks, not 6 weeks. So I got 2 extra weeks
Mm-hmm.
than you did. And
Mm-hmm.
what I did, Sunita, was I negotiated with my employer at the time to say, actually, it was so awesome because my boss at the time was literally saying, "You're going to be a first time mom. I've never been in your shoes," because he was a guy. He's like, "Let me do this for you. Um, when you after your maternity leave, work from home for 6 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll ease your way into the department." And I thought that was awesome. So
Yeah.
it gave me more time. I still had to work, but I could flex because I can work from home. um, but then what ended up happening was we had an org change, and with that org change, I remember meeting him, and he asked me to meet him a little while I was on maternity leave, just to have coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he was like, "Well, remember what I told you about work from home? I have to accelerate that." And to be honest with you, that's where, I was in state of shock, and I was like, well, I have made plans around this scenario. He was such a good boss that he respected it. He's like, "I know we've done an org change. I'll help you navigate it." And that's how I did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we need to have a support from our working space as well, right? You put your baby on the daycare, or you how do you manage that? How do you manage with the baby and work?
Well, I was very fortunate, Sunita, because my mom is here. And part of her, so my mom and I have like an amazing relationship. So she was working, and her thing was, "I'm working because not because I need money, it's because I need like company." and and we used to tell her all the time, like, "Can you please retire? Can you please quit your job?" Because but she enjoyed it so much. She's like, "Have a baby, Bobby, and then I'll quit." So
Mm-hmm.
when I had my baby, I was like, "Now you're quitting your job." So she took care of she took care of Sana, and then we put her in a Montessori school when she was 20 months. But what that allowed us to do is really, the reason why we're able to start our businesses
Mm-hmm.
was because my mom,
Yeah.
she took care of, because it's Sovin and I, right? So it's a husband wife team,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to go to events together. Sometime, even now, right? We have to travel together, and she's lives close by, and she will take care of Sana. And we're very fortunate because we wouldn't be doing what we're doing if it wasn't for my mom.
Yeah, yeah, that is really very good. That hearing from you that yeah, you have a very good like supporting
Support
mom.
system. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk around having a good support system when you're building a company.
Mhm.
And I've just been so fortunate. Like, I'm so grateful that I have my mom and my brother. my dad, who are really like there to really provide that support. They're local. My mom knows how to drive, so it becomes easier even when we're in meetings, and she lives so close by that she can just go pick up if we have a meeting that's running over. We don't have to worry about it.
So one question. So you born here or how's that?
Yeah, so I grew up here. I was born here
Mhm.
in a small town in Sparta, North Carolina. And then I lived from age 5 to age 10. I was in India,
Oh,
and then came back at age 10 to Sparta and I've lived in North Carolina all my life, except
oh,
for the 5 years.
oh, okay, okay. I don't know about that. So regarding your like the partner, did you meet here and have how that if you are comfortable to share?
Yeah, so Sylvan and I met. He was in Iowa, went to school at Drake, and then I was in North Carolina, and we met. And when you come to North Carolina, you live in North Carolina,
Yeah,
so and when you go to the mountain regions, it reminded him of Nepal, the
yeah.
mountains, the greenery, and Iowa gets so cold. So when we were, when we decided to, take to the next level, he's like, I'm going to move to North Carolina. You don't need to move to Iowa, which was perfect because I was trying to convince him like North Carolina is a better place. We've got good support system. But I was willing to move, right? So I was open, but he's like, nope, I like North Carolina. So because it reminded him so much of Nepal, and when I went to Nepal, he was right. I love the road from Kathmandu to Hithora
Uh-huh.
because it's such beautiful mountains,
Mhm.
and these mountains are so tall. Like when we think about Blue Ridge Mountains, we
Mhm.
are like, wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Times three is the height, or times two is the height, but
Mhm.
it's just majestic, right? So Nepal is special.
So you went to Nepal one time or how many time you went?
I've been there 4 times now.
Four
So
times?
one time, there used to be a joke that I used to say is I got married twice to the same person,
Uh-huh.
and my Indian friends and Nepali friends would understand what I meant, but my
Uh-huh.
American friends didn't. They were like, "Did you get a divorce and remarry?" I said, it's because in our culture, right,
Yeah.
that we got married here, but then we had to do like an official, like proper marriage. So I went to Nepal in 2008. I got married to Sovan in 2006. 2008 is when I got married twice.
Okay.
So and it was like that ritual, and it was the first time for me. Like I've been to big weddings, but when it's time to come to your own wedding, I grew up in a small town, so I thought like 200 people was big.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine 1,000 people. And I don't know any of them. I just met Steven's family for the first time, like his distant relatives for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is like so many people at my own wedding. It was kind of cool though.
Yeah. So your whole family went or only you and your husband went for the marriage?
No, I went. Yeah.
Went.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So you are only the one who, yeah, because
Yeah, my parents
your side
weren't
is
able
like,
to
yeah.
make it. Yeah, my parents weren't able to make it, nor my brother. And
Mhm.
then my family in India at that time were getting a little bit more elderly, so they couldn't travel.
Yeah.
So, and I have a very small family because
Mhm.
my family culture, I'm Sindhi, so we're kind of spread out. So
Uh-huh.
for them to come to Nepal, it was like there
Yeah.
wasn't going to happen because
Mhm.
they're in Philippines, they're in Argentina, they're in Spain, they're in India, they're in US, and it just was becoming hectic
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah. So nice to hear about your marriage ceremony. Yeah, it's good. I think a week before I saw your Momentum book. So can you just tell me about your like Momentum book?
Yes, Sunny, that was a initiative that Renu, my collaborator, and I have been working on now. When we started the idea, the concept of the book, till we finished it. So I've had this idea for many years. And when I was talking to Renu around February, I said to her, it would be so cool if we can if we can write about amazing women in insurtech and share their stories and share ours. Initially, we were going to share our stories, and then we decided that let's keep our story for the next, like when the time is right, because we feel like our story is still being written. And it was a really good opportunity uh, to come together. And we did this in 8 months. We came up with the outline, we interviewed, and we collected these 10 amazing women in insurtech. At one point, I was thinking, oh, we're not going to make it. Like, we had our timeline of insurtech connect, which is a large conference. We're like, if we can get done by then, how cool would that be? But it was hard.
Yeah.
But we did it, but we did it while working at our companies, at our initiatives. So Reno starting a fund. I was at Benekiva, and we did this on the side. And I think it really shows the power of when you put focus and energy. It wasn't a full-time thing. We worked on Sundays.
Yes.
But we made it focus. We worked hard. We were leveraging, and we wrote it. We didn't have like a ghostwriter. A lot of people are like, well, did you get ghost written? I said, no, we did this ourselves. And we did get an editor towards the end, but it was already gone through 2 rounds of edits before we included her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. It means like the momentum is regarding like a 10 women, like you take the interview and you put it everything on your book, right?
It's 10 women and really talking about their stories,
Stories.
stories of resilience, stories of their hustle, their grit. How did they, overcome some of the challenges that we see in our industry for female founders, which is how do we get funding? How do we get clients? How do we get people to have remove this unconscious bias, which is so hard because it's unconscious, to give us a chance, right?
Mhm.
And I'm excited about that.
So can you just explain more like detailedly what is like insurtech? Because my viewers or the audience may not know what is insurtech means. So can you just
Yeah.
give like brief introduction? What is that?
So insurtech is really startups, technology, young technology organizations that are trying to innovate in the insurance landscape. A lot of the industry talks about fintech, insurtech, adjacent industries.
Mhm.
But yeah, insurtech was coined sometime in post 2012, 2013 as
Mhm.
its own. Hey, these are the group of companies and that are early stage. It was funny when I was at a conference, somebody said, I'm a 20-year-old insurtech startup. And they started their company back then when 2000. But it's serving the insurance industry. That's what that word is
Okay.
short for.
Okay. So is it like insurance is a life insurance or the company like for the company insurance or how's that?
Yeah, it's actually if you think about the insurance value chain,
Mm-hmm.
so it's technology to help the insurance carriers,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're in property casualty, commercial, specialty, life,
Mm-hmm.
long-term care, disability, group, employee benefits type of space. But it also includes like agents, brokers, wholesalers. So think about the insurance value chain of how you buy these products.
Yeah.
And these are complex products. And everyone that's supporting this, right? Like, for example, in life insurance, you've got agents, you've got agencies, you've got when you're doing your underwriting, you've got medical facilities. In long-term care, you've got providers. So it's all about everybody's going to have a niche. to
Mm-hmm.
support, because not one company can solve everything,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's some companies that support, how do I get a customer to buy insurance?
Uh-huh.
How do I get insurance carriers to rate these products efficiently? How do we illustrate what insurance premiums that a customer has to buy? So every little piece
Mm-hmm.
is bits and pieces of technology kind of comes together. So when you hear the word ecosystems,
Mm-hmm.
partner ecosystems, it's really a group of technology solutions stitched together to really add value to the carrier, to the agents, to the brokers, to MGAs. So there's insurance is very fascinating. I'm more on the life, annuity, long-term care, disability side of the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you so much for your yeah, little bit like the one they don't know, they know about like the insurance, how that insurance like technologies, insurance technology means. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank. And yeah, I think talking regarding like you your like the interest. So is there like any interest that you are with, like what is your hobbies just apart from your work doing like what is your hobbies or the interest? Just want to make know.
Yeah, I'm big into reading. I love reading. So I'm part of two, no, three book clubs right now.
Okay.
It's been fun. I'm an avid reader.
Mm-hmm.
I like to travel, and I really enjoy hiking when the weather's like really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And this season, we actually have good hiking weather right now. So those are my interests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think yeah, that is good, right? For the health perspective as well. Walking, hiking is really very good for our mental
Yeah,
health as well, right?
I
So
love doing yoga. So I'm big into hot yoga. We have a very good local studio called Aware in Winston-Salem that
mhm.
I go to, and it's your time to do nothing. Yeah, but it's your time to do it's your time to relax, right?
Yeah, do you feel the weather?
I'm so biased because I love North Carolina because of the weather. We
Mhm.
get four seasons,
Yeah,
and it's not that cold in the winter.
yeah.
I mean, it's tolerable. We don't, at the area we live in, we barely get snow. We're kind of spoiled. So I love how our weather year round, you can go outside. It's not unbearable.
Mhm. Yeah. So I think the weather in Nepal and here is similar. So that's why I love North Carolina.
Yeah.
I could not leave North Carolina because of that.
Yeah. Except I would say in Nepal, like I've heard June through August is really unbearable, even in Nepal,
Yeah. Yes.
because of there's big rainy seasons, but outside of that, like it's beautiful. Nepal's weather is actually better, in my opinion, than
Mm-hmm.
the weather that we have here.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. I love the place over here. Weather is good. There's a when we came in 2016, and from there only one time I saw the snow in here, North Carolina. It's like the snow will be 1 day, 2 day, and then it's gone. Right? There's no any like the pile up of the
Yeah.
snows. So
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree.
okay, so one question I have in my mind: if the youth wants to open her own company, what's your experience, like advice for them? As
Yeah, I would say join a local startup ecosystem. Like in Winston-Salem, they have great programs for to get started. It depends on what you want to do. If you want to create like a small business, there's the Small Business Association, Small Business Center in every town, right? So Winston-Salem has a small business center, so does other communities. If you want to get into more tech, twice a year in Winston-Salem, they have these programs that are hosted by Techstars that local organizations do that really allows you to learn. how you can build a business in 54 hours, and you go through a whole lean canvas model in those 54 hours. I think those are the opportunities. If you're interested, participate, get experience, go to an accelerator, go to some of these local startup events, meet people so that you can see how to actually do it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that is very good advice, because unless we go outside and meet the people, we don't know about the community as well, right? How the organization is doing, other organization is doing. So we need to look the other organization, get some knowledge, learn from them, and then we can start our own thing, like our own idea, and then we can start up, right?
and it's such a good opportunity for for you to get involved, get to learn, and also build your peer network.
Yeah.
So I'm a big supporter of, I mean, that's how we got started with Docsmore.
Mhm.
We went to a ecosystem called Flywheel,
Mhm.
got introduced,
Mhm.
went through a couple of their programs, and it just gives you that confidence.
Mhm. Yes, of course, that is
Yeah.
very good advice that you have given to my audience. So thank you so much. So I think other than that, I have one question regarding the conference. There is a meetup group, the conference. You go to the different conference. How do we know that we are having that conference? Is there like anything where we can get the knowledge from?
So the once you like for local stuff, once you are part of like once you go to a couple of these events locally, you get part of that network. So
Mhm.
they'll send you newsletter, like Winston Start sends a newsletter. They have good programming that they are offering to people in the community that people can participate in. That's how you know what's happening in the conferences.
Mhm.
Insurance conferences are there's so many of them,
Okay.
but it's really about some of the ones that you follow. Like I follow
Mhm.
insurTech New York. I follow insurTech Hartford. InsurTech Hartford now has really expanded. It's more like insurTech Americas, and every little city has their own insurTech um, chapter. So
Mhm.
I'm on the board of our insurTech Carolinas, which is really good way to get the insurance population in the Carolinas,
Mhm.
both north and south, together. So there's a lot of these activities happening. InsurTech Insights is a big conference. InsurTech Connect is a big conference, and then there's other specific uh, conferences that happen, especially in insurance, because every single value chain, like life insurance, has its own conference through LIMRA. Claims has its own conference through International Claims Association. Long-term care has its through ILTCI. So that's how you got to find and navigate is, and I'm picking on insurance because that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
What am I trying to do? What conference can get me the people, the clients, so that I'm not there to just pitch my product, but I'm there to learn and I'm there to collaborate. I build my network. That's how I choose conferences.
Mhm. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think yeah we need to have that thinking about like not only teaching up about ourselves but learning from the
Yeah.
others will really help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
To
So
me, I go there to listen. it's
yeah,
it's you have to do you have to still do business development. I'm not saying don't do that, but if you go in from the intent of I am going to learn and I'm going to soak in, and I'm not going to, nobody wants to go to a conference. And I see this all the time. And carriers tell me that they go hide because everybody's attacking them.
mhm,
Everybody wants to meet with them. Everybody wants to have a conversation and everybody wants to pitch them.
yes,
They're there to learn. So
yes,
respect that space,
mhm,
but build that relationship so that you can, if there's a need, they can come talk to you.
yeah, of course, yeah. So we need to make that a relationship with the people that we talk, right? We just not only go for ourselves, just looking about ourselves and just try to make connection with the people, and from them also we learn a lot. So that's cool. Yeah.
It's a relationship, right? It's a relationship business.
So relation business is very good. Like when we put our 100% with the people, good relation, then they will be very good for them as well and for us as well. So
Yeah.
for both
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
So one question I have, like about like a women in the insurtech. There is a lot of women in now coming up, right, in the insurtech. As maybe not only like insurtech, but different other domains as well. There is a lot of women coming up as a leader, as a CEO, as a co-founder. So yeah, I think, do you have any suggestion or the advice for them, how they can be like without doing like bias thing? Like there is a some of the place is like only the male is going there and not for females, something like that, right? It's over right now. There is a lot like it's not happening right now, but still some of the places where we go, there is something happening. So do you have any like suggestions or advice for them, the new come up like women entrepreneur?
Honestly, Sunita, I would tell, especially the female founders and to any diverse founders. So it's not just females that have this issue. It's people of color, people of different orientation. Don't give up. You've got your community. This is exactly why we're building momentum, right? Like momentum is a book series because we want to amplify these voices that don't get heard, right? That's our mission, that's our vision. But don't find your community. A lot of people are there to support you. Don't, hustle, grit, but take care of yourself as well. uh, but that's my advice, is don't give up. You're not the only one. Try to find your community, try to find your tribe. If you're listening to this and you're lost, come talk to me, I will help you. There's lots of people that want to help, because this industry, it globally, the movement of diversity, equity, inclusion is not a checklist activity. We got to stop thinking about that. This has to be ingrained. We all have a part in how we really advance building diverse companies. The statistics don't lie. If you have a diverse team that's led by a diverse founder, by women, you're going to be more profitable.
Yeah.
It's the statistics are not going to lie. So you have to get out of your own way. But for the founders or for professionals, don't give up, right? Try to find mentors, networking opportunities, but nobody's going to give it to you. You got to find your own path.
So you need to ask, or you need to speak up
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
speak up, right?
That's a good way to say it. But then don't be shy about it, because there's so much support, right? So you can't be in your own negative bubble either to say, I get this and I no, like, you've got people to support you. Yes, there is stuff that happens, but we're here, right? There's a huge community that there's so many people that want to help. So just you have to lean in to get help.
Mhm. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, thank you so much. And one question regarding the new mom, right? So I just have like in my mind, I just like listening your thing about the woman. So new mom, do you have any suggestion for the new mom or other mom who have a like your age uh, daughter or the son? Do you need to give some suggestion how to make your like the kids what like her interest or anything, anyone want to look about you, right, about your family life as well. So just if you have anything like for them to suggest anything, can you give them?
Yeah, I think the question is around work-life integration, right? Like how do we support, how do we balance the
Yeah.
family duties,
Mhm.
especially in our culture,
Yes.
to, your hustle, your professional job. Um, my thing is it can't be a balance. because balance already shows that you're something's going to give and something's going to lose, right? It's all about integrating. So there's so many times I take Sana to my events because I want her there. I want to spend time with her, but get her exposure, and then I can get my work done as well. That's my big suggestion is, and then making sure your partner is, especially in our culture, it's a 50-50. It has to be 50-50 in order to make it work. We're not in, especially if you live here, we're not in a country where we have help.
Yeah.
It's expensive to get help,
Mhm.
and it's a luxury if you want to get your house clean. Like when in India, Nepal, like we have people that is, it's a different way of life there. You can't compare it. So when you come here, you've got to be a 50-50 partner, or else it's going to become very hard for women. And for women, demand that, right? Like maybe your husband does not know how to cook, but let them get him involved in other chores. Vice versa. There's lots of men there. Women don't know how to cook,
Yeah.
like especially me. I'm not the best cook in the world, but I do everything else. But it's got to be a 50-50 deal, or else it's gonna become this tiptoe, and it's gonna be very difficult. So how do you do a little bit, not sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that, depending on where you're at within your life stage, but really try to make that like as a partner. That's, if you have a partner, it's a partnership, you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we need to be working together, right? Here, yeah, as you say, India, the culture is very different. Only the main is doing the outside, like the job, and then home they will not do anything. But now the woman is also working, right? They
Yeah,
work on outside, they work on home. So yeah, so men also have to do that. So it will be balanced from the both sides.
it has to be balanced. If you
Yeah,
live here, it's going to be very difficult, because what we don't want for us females is burnout.
yeah, burnout. Yes, of course. Yeah,
and
make
and
sure.
having and sacrificing our health, because that
Mhm.
will have long-term consequences. And so
Yeah, that's good. That is very good thing. 50-50 partner is very good and helpful as well, right? For both of them. And raising the child together with the thing, like you get your daughter in the conference, and sometimes your husband, if he had something, so he can also get your daughter over there. And looking around, kids, they
yeah,
learn very fast, they will be very quick learner, and what they see they will just catch it. So I think that is very helpful for them as well, for their growth, right?
yeah, I am with you 100%. And in our, for example, in our family, I'm so grateful to my husband because we have that partnership, right? And when I have to travel, I'm the person that travels mostly, and for us, and he takes care of Sana without complaint, right? So that's what that means. True partnership is, you do it, we're in this together, and and vice versa. Sometimes he has to travel, and I have to take care of everything. So
Yes. Mhm. Yeah, understanding each other is very good thing. And I think I don't want to take your more time, because it's like a weekdays, right? If anyone want to reach out to you, want to get your advice or anything, like how is the best way to connect with you?
LinkedIn is the best way. I'm very active on LinkedIn. Bobbie Shrivastav. You'll find me, and
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to connecting.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Bobby, and have a nice day. Thank you for joining in my podcast. And if anyone wants anything like help, you can directly look on the LinkedIn. I will be putting the LinkedIn link on my description and connect to you. So if you have any question for me as well, so I have also my LinkedIn account on my description, or anything email, you can email me back. If you like this podcast, or I have like a channel I am putting on my YouTube channel, so please do like, comment, and subscribe my channel. Anything you want to put the feedback, so it's welcome to put the feedback, so it will help me a lot. I will be looking that feedback and working on that as well. So stay tuned for the more videos, and thank you so much.